Welcome along to TTTV. I've just realised I've been talking to myself there. That's a great way to start things off. Absolutely fantastic. My name is Andy Campbell. Welcome along to the first race tonight. Straight into the action then of these 5-lap lobbies. And you can already see car off in the background as Dan Morris as Vitano goes into turn number 1 first in the Alfa Romeo. This is the charity live stream for Mental Health UK. And if I sound a bit rushed, it's because I didn't realise I had my mic muted there. I've been talking for the last 2 minutes without even realising. The Williams there of Jorti trying to go round the outside with a very nice move as Rob bumps into the back of the Alfa Romeo there and loses his front wing. Samster in fourth for Toro Rosso. Yellow flags behind, as well as Westy is out of the race. We'll see if we can pick up what happened to him. It's going to be the usual. It's coming out of turn number 6, isn't it? So we follow Gypsy George struggling his way around at the moment, possibly picked up wing damage and yet really struggling in fact, so we'll jump away from him. Jorti still in the lead though in the Williams in this first race with Vitino. I'm going to get that wrong all night, so I'll apologise now. He's in second. Rob Forbes in third. Samster looking good in fifth as Alan Kay picks up the first penalty of the night. He is down in 10th place at the moment. I was looking for an Alfa Romeo there. As you can see, Thomas going past Sean. Side by side go the Mercedes and the Red Bull into turn 13 down the back straight. They're still side by side going into 14, but Thomas has got the move done. And a move for position up front as well as Sam has gone through on Rob Forbes, who's got a wing damage as well, so pit stop already for McLaren. Not what you want to be happening in a 5-lap sprint race. There is Mays going through with Weed Nation. It's because he's a gardener, not because of anything else. He's in 8th. There is Rob and Kiki as well. Kiki is in as well, and the other McLaren, so he's going to get held up. There's George. You got Alan Kay off in the background. He's DNF'd already, so already people just going a bit hammer and tong on to the first race already. It seems to be that Jorti and Vitino have disappeared out front. Have already got a bit of a gap out in the lead as we come into lap 2 of this first 5-lap race. We've got plenty coming on tonight. I will get into the chat shortly because I am trying to do 20 things at once here, which is never a good thing when you're running late, but at least I've got some things sorted at least. But hopefully you're looking forward to some good action tonight, and hopefully maybe get a few of the drivers maybe jump in from time to time if you are interested in even jumping in for a race or two. If you've got your PlayStation 4 a copy F1 2019, let us know in the chat. We'll see what we can do for you, see if we can get something sorted, because as you can see you've got 14 drivers have started off tonight. We do have some spaces still available, but you can see there Thomas going through. There's Mays getting trying to get through as Tom goes past in the racing point. Kiki is left the session. He's now ghosting as Mays bumps into the back there off the racing point. Little bit of lag going on. You see Weed Nation nearly got through there as Thomas, TTG Thomas, sets the fastest lap. DRS now enabled, so that'll be available to them as they go through. And there is Mays trying to get through on Tom, but he's not going to be able to do so this time. By that is the closest battle. There is the battle though between Vitino, Samster and Thomas, who has flew up to the back. 6 places gained in that frantic start. Tom's up 5, Mays up 6, Weed Nation up 6. He's just basically punted the Ferrari out the way slightly there, so this might be for fun and games, but you still need to behave yourself, boys. Come on, keep it clean. I want to see some good action. So with that being the case, we'll go back towards the front end where Vitino, Samster and Thomas are pretty much nose to tail going up to the fast chicane of turns 11 and 12. Samster, sorry, will have DRS here down towards turn 13. So will Thomas. It looks like Samster might be a pad runner with that little bit of movement there on the steering wheel, a little bit jerky there, which would make me think he is a pad runner. He's going very nicely indeed in these early stages around Melbourne at Albert Park here, and Jorti disappearing off into the distance at this point in time. Finally get my chance to have a first look at the chat. It's taken me long enough to get it open. I know there's some of you in there already. Mays is in there with your usual checkered flag. At least there's no penguins as Samster spun wing damage there. What happened? He went up the inside of Vitino. A little bit of contact made and the Toro Rosso goes round, and that is him And down Sean goes by in the Red Bull. He's probably going to push to the end of the race, but that car will handle like an Asda shopping trolley just now. Dylan Warren, D Warren as we know him as for TTL. Oh my goodness me, and that's Vittino losing massive parts of his front wing, having a huge mistake running wide there through turn 6, clouting the wall. Lucky to still have his front wheels all intact there. Again, he'll push on to the end of the race, I would imagine, as well. That puts Sean up into 4th at the moment. It will be 3rd shortly when he catches up to the back of that Alfa Romeo, as Weed Nation is catching up to the back of Tom in the racing point here as we come towards the end of this first race already. Random grids for us, so there's no qualifying brouhaha, no or whatever. It's just get in and have a race and have a bit of fun. We'll try and raise some money as well as we go along. As I say, I will post everything very, very shortly indeed. Just trying to work through commentating at the same time as doing everything else. There goes Weed Nation to the outside. He's got DRS on Tom down towards turn 13, sweeps round the outside in the Renault, and that's a lovely little move there from the TTG driver as he moves up into 6th position there, but he's a long way behind Samster. Oh, Tom's missed his break in there. That was a late lunge. Samster's left the session with some internet issues, so you'll see in a moment when we pick him up. He is ghosting, you can see it there. That means he's not in control of the car at the moment, so few people having a few issues early doors already. There's Mays starting to catch up to the back of Tom, but Mays does have a possible bit of wing damage I'm not too sure of. I've just posted the link if you do wish to donate in the chat. Just click that link there, it'll take you to the Just Given page where you can donate as much or as little as you can. Anything is much appreciated. We already have 25% to our total, so we set a target of around £200, which would be lovely to do, and we're already at the £50 mark with a few early donations, including one from myself as well. One from Mays, we've got Westy in there too, and Charlie, and also my sister. Thank you, Emma, if you are watching. I don't know if you are, but she dropped in a wee £10 for us as well, which is absolutely fantastic too. So if anything you can do, whether it be £1, £2, £5, £10, just whatever you are able to manage, would be absolutely phenomenal for such a great cause. And as I say, I will go through more details about Mental Health UK later on in the stream, let you know some of the fantastic work they do, as Jorty's crossed the line to win the race just ahead of Thomas, who finishes in 2nd position. Sean does take 3rd on the road as Vittino comes across the line and he's damaged Alfa Romeo to take 4th. Sam's technically going to finish 5th. If this was a league race, it wouldn't count because he's not in control. Mays is spun in the background as Weed Nation comes across in 6th. Tom taking 7th. Mays gets underway. Luckily he was ghosting because Rob came flying through there in McLaren, so he's going to take 8th. Mays in 9th position. Kiki is running around as a ghost at the moment. He's in 10th, and George will be the last one across the line shortly in 11th position. So there we go, first race already in the books, and frantic action already going on the track, so plenty to take scope off there. Now let's just have a look through as I try to get things loaded here to make the stream look good. So if I go quiet for a wee moment, do apologise, it'll not be too much longer. Where is that picture? Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to find the thumbnail. As George comes through across the line now, he's going to come through and take 11th, and you can see Kiki's rejoined the session, so he's back in. But first race done, and it is Jorty in the Williams who takes the victory in the first of our races here tonight. So plenty going on there in that opening stint. Let's see, file is not an image. Brilliant! Always good when things don't do what you want them to do. Right, let's try saving this a different way then. Can we just save the JPEG? There we go. Trying to do two things at once is never usually my strong point, let's be perfectly honest about it. Anyone that's watched TTL F1 on Thursday nights will know that so very well. But there's the champagne for the first race. Jorty the winner, Thomas coming through the field in 2nd, and Sean taking 3rd in the Red Bull. You'll see that on your screen in just a moment's time. Right, so I can't get that to load there. Brilliant. Need to do the thumbnail later. Okay. So there you go. Jorty wins, Thomas second, Sean in third, Vitino in fourth, Samstar fifth, Weed Nation sixth, Tom in seventh, Rob Forbes taking eighth despite wing damage on the first lap, Maze in ninth, Kiki in 10th, and Gypsy George in 11th. Alan K, Westy and Dan Morris DNF'd during that race. So let's have a wee check into the chat. McKenda for you. Good friend of mine from the sim racing world, a TTP car racer. Good to have you along with us as well, buddy. And Tom, apologies you had to miss race one. We did mention to us you might have done, so it's all good. We'll get you in for the next one. It's all fun and games. So there's a wee quiz running here, so for anyone watching, it's just for fun. I'm going to give you the question for the first one, which is all about Australia, and you've got 15 seconds to answer it while we get this next lobby loaded up. You've got the time it takes to load the lobby up, basically. So the first question on the quiz tonight: who won the first ever World Championship Australian Grand Prix held at Adelaide in 1985? So who won the first ever Australian World Championship Grand Prix at Adelaide in 1985? Pop your answers in the chat below and we'll see if anybody can come up with the correct answer. I should really get my notepad out so I can actually write down who answered correctly or not. Play along, it's all just for fun. Who won the first ever Australian World Championship Grand Prix in 1985? Try not to Google it, you cheats. It's terrible. Use your knowledge. £50 raised so far for Mental Health UK, which is just absolutely phenomenal. Brilliant stuff already. And I actually need to bring that up as well. So see if anybody's managed to get the answer in the chat. Doesn't look like it as we move on to Bahrain. Nope, Lucy Davis in there. Correct answer. It was Keke Rosberg in the Williams was the first winner of a World Championship Australian Grand Prix. He won the race ahead of the two Ligiers of Jacques Lafitte and Philippe Chitstireff, whose name I can never pronounce, unfortunately. So that's question number one. So well done to you, Lucy. You got the correct answer there. It is just a little bit of fun. So do join in on the next one, which will be after this race here at the Bahrain International Circuit Sakir. Red lights are on. It looks like Tom is on the front row with Maze in second and one of the Alfa Romeos in third as we fire away from the start line. And let's see who's got the best start. Looks like Maze has got a decent start. Vitino is doing well in the Alfa from third position. You can see Kiki coming through. His wing damage behind already. His carbon fibre flies up in the air here in the night sky in Sakir in the desert. And it is Maze who takes the lead through turn number one. Here comes Vitino though, and Tom heading up towards turn number three. No DRS up to here just yet. There's the Williams' Jorty going up the inside. He's going to go up the inside of two cars. He's flying up the inside. He's nearly got the move done. He's just got a bit sideways there on the exit as Rob Forbes has had to retire from the session. And you can see there Jorty, the race winner in Australia, really pushing. It looks like Tom might have some. Oh, he's nearly lost it there. No wing damage visible. There's a McLaren going up the inside. That's Kiki. You can see there's a car running wide there at the exit. I think that was the Mercedes of Thomas running wide as they come into turn number 9. Thomas is going to sneak up the inside on Kiki there, and he's made a nice little move too. And Vitino's got a great run out. Tom is going backwards at a vast rate of knots, struggling on this tyre. Maybe he does have some wing damage on that racing point. There's Sean looking up the inside, but now Tom fighting his way back. Look at that pumpkin helmet. That's an absolute beezer. Free wide up the hill's never going to work. Dan needs to be careful. He looks like he's lost some front wing. Sean's off. There's carnage everywhere. Westy's off as well with wing damage. Sean off. Gypsy George comes through, goes, thanks very much guys, I'll have some of that. This carnage going on in lap one. Here comes Honey Badger, who's just jumped into the session as well, the Dutchman in the Haas, trying to make his way through, picking up a track extension penalty there already on the first lap. And you can see there as Dan Morris heads for pit lane, Kiki looking to the inside. We need to go back up to Jorty though. He's up the inside on Maze, taking it very easy, very fairly done. He knows this is just for fun and games. Vitino and Thomas sweeping round the outside there to take third position. Lovely little move. And Kiki coming through on Tom as well. Jorty up the inside into turn number 4 on Maze. He's made the move stick. This is going to be fast and action-paced the whole way through tonight. Unbelievable. Jorty taking the lead from Mays. Thomas up into 5th. He's up 5 places, as is Jorty. Vittino in 4th. Kiki in 5th. Tom down to 6th, having started on pole position. Honey Badger in 7th. Alan K in 8th. Sean in 9th. Gypsy George, Dan and Westy are into the pits and back out already. So lap 1 on to lap 2, and there you go. Oh, and Tom's off in the background. Try and jump there. I don't know if that was due to Honey Badger or if he just spun in front of him. That cost Honey Badger a bit of time. Tom gets back underway. Where is the Honey Badger himself? He's managed to hold off Alan K, who is trying to catch up and make up more positions. As Tom picked up any damage from that? In fact, Alan Kay's just sweeped round the outside of Honey Badger there, so I wonder if there is damage to the Haas. There is on the right hand side, so again, wing damage will mean less downforce. Understeering badly, you can see it on the left hand, our left, driver's right, just there in shot. And that is not going to help at all for Honey Badger. As you can see, Vittino's trying to catch up to Mays here. Still no DRS. It is now enabled, but not available on the front straight this time by. And you can see there up ahead, Thomas is trying to make a move here up towards turn number 3. And he has got the DRS, but he's turned the power down now. He's turned his ERS down. He's just managing it. Vittino up the inside, clattering across the curbs there. Front wing damage for the Alpha. That was a bit clumsy there from him. We got a yellow flag as Gypsy George has been off at the end of sector 3. Remember, he's been into the pits already. Honey Badger decided to pit. He didn't like the understeering shopping trolley characteristics of his Haas, and he's into pit lane as Thomas is really motoring now in the Mercedes. It's equal cars, I do believe, as well. And Thomas right onto the back here of Jorty. He's got DRS. This should be an easy move here for the Mercedes, and he goes by up into turn 11. Nice move done there, easily done with the DRS, and he is through and up a position. You see Vittino there trying to catch back up to Mays. He'll be struggling with the lack of front wing duties. Damage there it is on the left hand side of his car, and that is not going to help him in any way, shape or form. Jorty's going to try see if he can use DRS to his advantage down the front straight here, as we quickly go to his teammate Westy, who's onto the back of Dan Morris, coming up to the tricky turn 9 and 10. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. It's all disappeared now. We jump back to Jorty. Yellow flag back out. Does Jorty fancy a late lunge up the inside? He does not. Vittino though has got the outside line to sweep right around on Mays into turn number 1, and he's got that move done. Westy's got the move done going out. No, he's not actually. Dan Morris fighting back. Lovely stuff from those two there. Gypsy George has been off the track, so I think that's what the yellow flag might have been. Dan holding on to that position. Nicely done there from him. And we move back up because Alan Kay up towards turn number 3 is onto the back of the other Red Bull. So anyone who's a Red Bull fan who remembers Vettel and Webber, Multi 21, Turkey 2010, close your eyes, because there's 2 Red Bulls that are about to lock horns one more time. We're on to lap 4 of 5. Frantic, quick action here tonight. And Westy has finally got the move done into turn 1. Just caught the end of that there on Dan Morris. He gets the move done, and the Williams, he's up a position into 10th place, which would normally be 1 World Championship point. Jorty looks like he's just fallen away from the back of Thomas, so Thomas has got some fantastic pace here in the early goings tonight. Mays sticking to the back of Vittino. Obviously that Alfa Romeo does have wing damage on the front left. You can see that it's missing the white end fence on the driver's left hand side, so that's not going to be helping him in any way at all. That means Mays is much quicker through the corners, but the Brazilian's doing a very nice job indeed. He's keeping ahead despite the damage. And he's holding on nicely. You can see he's gone very defensive there. Mays isn't close enough to go for anything, so he's decided to just hold off and holds it into turn number 1 nicely on the brakes there. Slows it down in plenty of time. Dan Morris still on the back of Westy as well, and he might fancy a chance into turn number 1. Does Mays fancy anything into turn 3 on DRS? No, he does not. Kiki's 5 seconds down in the background. And here comes Dan then into the last corner. He's going to have DRS down towards turn number 1 as Honey Badger. We are 28.7. That's a pretty impressive lap time from the Dutchman. He is on fresh tyres, of course. Yellow flags in sector 2 and 3, and in sector 3 is nothing to do. It's Gypsy George with front wing damage. maybe using this as a bit of a test to try and no assist, because I can tell you from experience, it ain't easy. It definitely is not. Mays has dropped off the back, so it doesn't look like he is going to catch up in enough time as we come towards the end of race number 2. And it is going to be Thomas coming through to take the victory. Jorty in the background taking first and second in the first 2 races. So they switch positions. It was Jorty winning in Melbourne from Thomas coming through the field. This time though, the Mercedes driver is going to come through and take the checkered flag. He wins the Bahrain 5-lap sprint race. Jorty will take second as the fireworks go off here in the desert. Vittino holds on to take third position from Mays, who takes fourth. Here comes Kiki in fifth position. And you can see there Sean in sixth. Alan Kay has ran out of fuel, I think, has he? Or is he just going slowly? He's just decided to roll across the lines. Maybe ran out of fuel. He's going to finish in 7th. Tom in the pumpkin helmet. Let's just see if we get a good angle of that. Look at that. Brilliant. He is in 8th. That was part of the Halloween DLC Codemasters released. Honey Badger in 9th. Having had to make a pit stop. Does he make a faster lap? Nope. He does not. Westy's going to finish in 10th. Dan Morris takes 10th because Westy had a penalty, so Westy's 11th, and George will come across the line shortly to finish in 12th. Rob Forbes, we didn't know what happened to him. He retired on the first lap, so unsure what happened to him. But fantastic early stuff. And that is 2 races already in the book. So just while we're waiting on George coming across the line, let me just give you a little bit of information in regards to Mental Health UK and what they do here as the Penguins have hit the chat. Trust you, Mace, trust you, mate. So Mental Health UK, basically their website is mentalhealth-uk.org. if you are suffering from any sort of mental health, so that can be anxiety, bipolar disorders, depression, anything that affects your mental health, do have a look at their website. They've got lots of help and information on there. Donating £10, just £10, can help them to reach out to so many people. They've got over 40 years worth of experience from support groups which are run by volunteers, advice in regards to money advice if you're struggling with that, or any other sort of advice you need in regards to mental health. The information is easily available online, and it does make a big difference. Just £10 could help to give 30 people the vital information to help them learn about mental health, to be able to help others in the position that they need that help from. So that could be, you could be a family member you know could be suffering, and you know, just looking at the information might make it an easier conversation for you to have with them, to try and understand what is, you know, what it is that makes it such a struggle for them, and it can really help them. As you see, a little bit of the point standings based on everybody that's raced so far, but any donation you can make is vastly appreciated. And you know, there was a line I seen before, and I think it means quite a lot when it comes to mental health, and it is: the strongest people are those who win battles we know nothing about. It is so true. As someone who personally has mental health issues, currently being medicated for depression, I know that struggle personally. It's not easy. There's a lot of stigma behind mental health. Don't be scared to talk if you feel like you might be suffering. Check the website, read up, see if you might be someone. If you feel you're suffering or you feel down, don't be afraid to speak to anybody. People are there, and there is help available. And by donating tonight, you can ensure more people have the right information to hand. Check the chat, the link is in the chat. If you just scroll back up a little bit, I will post it periodically as we go along. Anything you can help on to will be much appreciated. I'll have a look, see if there's been any further donations a bit later on in the stream. But before we go on to the Spanish Grand Prix at Catalunya, it's time for the quiz question for Bahrain. So, which team locked out the front row for the 2009 Bahrain Grand Prix? So which team had a front row lockout for the 2009 Bahrain Grand Prix? Get your answers in the chat. It's all just for fun, remember. Just to make this as entertaining a night as possible. Who locked out the front row for the 2009 Bahrain Grand Prix? Which team? And if you can, give me the drivers. Again, try not to Google it. Use your knowledge, use your F1 knowledge. I know yous have got it, guys, so tell me what you think. Who locked out the front row? You've got until the race starts, so you've got 15 seconds to figure it out, or I'm going to give you the answer. Maze in the chat, when Maze is in first, it ain't going to last. Have some belief in yourself, son. Come on. So, we're starting. Nobody got the answer. Ah, okay. Well, the answer to that question was Toyota, the Arno Trillion Timo Glock. So, nobody getting that one as we get underway here at Catalunya. It's Vittino and Westy drag race down towards turn number 1. Look at Thomas, going to make it 3 wide into turn number 1. Can he get these? Made the move stick. Fantastic move there from the Mercedes driver. There's contact in the background. There's mayhem in the background, actually, sorry. Look at this, there's cars all over the place. We've got a Mercedes round, that's Rob. Graham's round, we've got a Renault round as well. It's Gypsy George as well, so mayhem aplenty. Alan Kay running wide through turn 3. I believe he might have some wing damage on that car, and yes, he does indeed, both sides actually. That's not going to help. Got another car running right, that's Honey Badger running wide, so I think he might have some damage as well. Mayhem in turn 1. Kiki's going well coming up back through. You can see damage to the racing point there of Tom's, and he's been pushed wide there by Kiki. That was a bit naughty. Come on, boys, keep it clean. Keep it tidy, people, come on. It might only be 5 laps, but it's still basically live and streaming. Treat it like a league race. Try and get to the end. Down the field, Tony Badger going round the outside, and Alan Kay. They both have wing damage, but Alan's is a lot worse than the Haas driver as Rob come back through. Oh, he's had to lock a brake there, coming through that corner. And you can see Vittino there in 4th, but yellow flag, and that's Gypsy George retiring from this session. So he is out of the session. Yep, everyone's fine on the mic, that's good. I've had some issues. If you hear any mic issues, please drop it in the chat, let me know. We've got a drag race coming down towards turn 1. The camera just will not change for me. Look at us! Red Bull is Sean Mays, Jorty trying to make his way through. Couldn't get anything done. You can see the position changes. Sean's up 5, Jorty's up 7, Kiki's up 5, Thomas up 3, big losers down the back, well George down 8, Tom's down 3, Alan Kay down 4, Graham's into pit lane. Looks like Alan's going to push on. It's a 5 lapper, might as well just have some fun as Tom goes through on him. And Thomas and Westy, the 2 TTG drivers, out in front. Dan Morris in 2nd with Vittino in 4th place. So it's Mercedes, Williams, Alfa Romeo. And so we've got Mercedes, Williams, 2 Alfa Romeos, and then we've got the Red Bull of Sean Mays in 6. You can see Jorty all over the back of him. Let's jump on board with the Williams. You can see the Red Bull up ahead as well. And Jorty looking a bit quicker at this point in time to come through the absolutely mullered final sector. The last 2 corners used to be so good round here. So they did. DRS will be enabled next time by, and you can see Jorty with a slipstream ERS battery turned up, flying down towards turn number 1. He's got the move done, gets on the brakes, up into 6th position. That was quite a nice and relatively easy move as Alan Kay decides, you know what, I need to get rid of that front wing, I need to change it. So he is into the pits. If you've never seen an F1 pit stop with a front wing change, here you go. Tyres come off, 22 mechanics, front wing gets changed. They have to lift the front of the car up manually, they can't use the jack, put a bit underneath the front instead, and Alan Kay back underway. So they can do that in about 8 to 10 seconds in an F1 team, which is just phenomenal. If you ever want to see poetry in motion, search Red Bull World Record pit stop, 1.83 seconds to change all 4 tyres. Incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm going to jump back to Jorty because he is on the charge. Yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, and it is Rob who's spun coming out of Lakaxa, and that's a lot of damage there to the Mercedes, and it's quite easy to do. You get yourself in the curb and you just, the car pirouettes like a ballerina. So Tom goes through on him. Thomas pulling away from Westy out front. Fastest lap of the race, a 19.1. And you got to think here with DRS, Sean's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. He's going to try and break the slipstream as much as he can, but Jorty coming through, and it's going to be an easy, relatively easy pass, you would think. Yep, it is indeed. You can see Kiki coming through there as well. You can see Honey Badger coming by on Maze. So Maze getting mugged there into turn 1. Sean's got back through though, so great driving from the Red Bull driver. You just seen that in the distance. And he made the switchback work, so we quickly cut to see Kiki and Honey Badger going through, and you can see in the distance Sean got a lovely exit up towards turn 3, and he's got that position back. So brilliant stuff there from the Red Bull driver. He's gone deep though into turn number 5. He won't want to be doing that. It's a downhill braking zone, very easy to mess up. We could be about to have a 4-way scrap over 5th position. Rob's into pit lane, having made his spin last time by. Honey Badger picking up a penalty, so that'll add 2 seconds to his time. Oh, Jorty gets it wrong. Kiki's gone round. He's done exactly what Rob did last time by. That's ruined his front wing. Jorty nearly done the same thing. You've seen the Williams do a huge amount of oversteer on the exit on the curb, and Kiki done exactly that. He's still got all 4 wheels in the car, and he's still able to continue west. He's slowly catching up to Thomas as they go on to the final lap of the race. Now let's see if Jorty can make the move stick this time by into turn number 1. Let's see if he can do it. He's quite a bit further back this time by, so it's going to be a bit of a move, but he's closing all the time. You can see Sean sticks to the racing line. Up the inside goes the Williams. Sean's going to hang it around the outside, and he's held on to the position again. Lovely little move. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's Alan Kay, and he's decided he's had enough of this race and retired from the session. That was... oh, wrong button. Don't worry about doing that. Hey, jeez. There we go. So Thomas slowly being caught by Westy. Not enough. There's Alan Kay's ghost car just pulling off to the side of the track. Jorty picking up a penalty, so that's going to help Sean hold on to that position as Tom has gone by Kiki, who's, well, he's really struggling with that damage after that big crash up at Lakaxa. But into the final chicane, and you just think one more lap, just one more lap, and Westy might have just had a chance of getting the move done. But as we come through the final corner, it's going to be Thomas taking his 2nd victory in a row already here tonight. He crosses the line. Westy's going to be in 2nd. Dan Morris crosses the line for 3rd. There's Vitino taking 4th. You can see Sean holding on for 5th position. Jorty will be 6th, but still up 8 places. Honey Badger in 7th. Maze crosses the line in 8th place. Tom will be coming through with his damage racing point to take 9th in the pumpkin helmet. Ooh, excuse me. Kiki about to cross the line shortly. He'll be 10th there as Tom coming across the line. And I'm just going to take a quick moment while they cross the line to just share the tweet quickly off the link. Across the line, 10th, there's Rob going across the line for 11th place, and Graham will cross the line and he will take 12th. So we're already 3 races down. It is flying along. Absolutely flying along already. But it is Thomas with 2 wins from 3 races, so he's doing a very good job at the moment. It is all just for fun, of course. There's no championship points up for grabs here. I'm sure some people wish there was. Let me see. So, another race done, and well, would you look at that? It's a Mercedes on top of the standings. Where have I seen that before? Lovely. So another Mercedes win, just like real life, isn't it? So Thomas wins, Westy in 2nd, Dan Morris in 3rd, Vitino in 4th, Sean 5th, Jorty 6th, Honey Badger in 7th, Maze in 8th, Tom 9th, Kiki 10th, Rob Forbes in 11th, S. Graham in 12th, Alan K DNF'd, as did Gypsy George. 3 races done. Time for another quiz question. I'll give you a bit quicker this time, so you got time to answer it before the next race. So, Spanish Grand Prix question. Who took the final podium of his career at the 1994 Spanish Grand Prix? So who took the final podium of his career at the 1994 Spanish Grand Prix? Got a little bit longer this time. Maze with a fuel sign in the chat. So I'm taking you ran out of fuel there at the end, bud. So easy to do. Just put it on full mix when you're racing and see what happens. Maybe later on I might actually jump on myself and do a race, but I'll be racing it on the pad rather than my wheels, so I'll probably be terrible. But I might do it just for a laugh later on, if we've still got some spaces. So who took the final podium of their career at the 1994 Spanish Grand Prix? Put your answers in the chat. We've only had one correct answer so far from 2 questions, and that was Lucy Davis getting Keke Rosberg right for the Australian Grand Prix question. Nobody answered the Bahrain question. So is anyone going to answer the Spanish Grand Prix question? And if you don't answer, then the best thing you're going to do is you're going to learn some things tonight. So I'll give you another few seconds to try and answer. Just refresh the page. As I said before, try not to use Google as we move on to Montreal, home of the Canadian Grand Prix, of course. So no one's going to answer. Okay, well, the answer to the question is Mark Blundell. He was driving for Ligier. He finished 3rd place in that race. Now people remember that race. It was the first win for Williams after the tragic death of Ayrton Senna at Imola. And it was the race that Michael Schumacher finished 2nd for Benetton, spending the second half of the race stuck in 5th gear. So that's a little bit of trivia for you. If I do remember correctly as well, because my screen's frozen on my laptop, it was also the last ever podium for a Yamaha engine as well. So there you go, a little bit of additional trivia. Looks like we've got the McLaren Akiki on pole position from Vittino in the Alfa Romeo. It's actually Dan Morris who's in 2nd, and away we go one more time, heading up towards turn 1. Good start from Kiki as into turn 1. Thomas and Dan Morris bumping side by side. Look at these two go. And it looks like this time, so far, touch wood, everybody's got through cleanly. Keep it that way, guys. No crashing. Dan's held on to 2nd from Thomas. Vittino trying to make his way through as well. And he's going to dive up the inside, but he thinks better off it there. Tom in 5th. Then you got Westy, Honey Badger, Jorti, Rob Fords, Mays, Sean, Alan K. Looks like Alan got damage from there. Yes, Graham's coming through as well. Let's see if that Red Bull's picked up any wing damage. Doesn't look like it, although Tom certainly has. He's off into the wall. That's another front wing change required for Racing Point, as you see Sean looking up the inside there. Honey Badger side by side with Rob Fords coming out of the hairpin at the top end of the course. We go flying down the back straight. We've got the St Lawrence River to our left hand side, if I remember correctly, right? It's called that, I believe. It's where they had the rowing for the Olympics when Montreal had the Summer Olympics back in, I believe it was 1978. As Honey Badger's gone straight on at the pit lane, so he's had wing damage then. That's going to drop him down the field. Sean looked like he was going to get past there by Mays. And up front, Dan has got through on Kiki. Just the battle for the lead. Thomas goes through as well. So Kiki losing out 2 positions there. Completely just caught that off stream seen it at the last minute. Dan getting through into turn 1. Thomas follows through into turn 2. Kiki down to 3rd position. And what you'll start seeing with obviously the people that are in the lobbies, you'll start seeing a bit of a pattern emerging. Those who like certain tracks or are just generally pretty quick at the game, you'll start to see that as we move along. Biggest gainers in the opening laps, Rob's up 5, Sean's up 5 as well. Tom down 9 after spinning at the second chicane, Honey Badger down 6. Kiki down 2, will make that nearly 3 because Vittino's just chucked it up the inside into the hairpin, but the McLaren's got a better run out of the corner, and now the Alpha's going to have to drag his way down. But look out, the 2 Williams are a-hunting. We're going to go on board with Westy here as we come up to the final chicane. Feel the bump, hit the brakes, into the chicane, try not to cut the corner too much as plenty of them do it and get penalties, including Vittino ahead of us. DRS is now enabled. And Vittino, you'd imagine, might just fancy his luck, but nope, he holds on. and it's all as you were actually, so everybody keeping it nice and clean. That's a lot more like it, gentlemen. We want to see some good clean action here as we raise some fantastic funds for a fantastic charity in Mental Health UK. As I say, check the chat, the link is there. Give as little or as much as you can, everything is appreciated. I know this is a hard time of year with it being Christmas and all, but this is a time where a lot of it can hit a lot of people harder with mental health issues. It can be such a rough time at Christmas as you're trying to juggle money issues if you've got them, and trying to see family is such a difficult time as Christmas. So anything you can do at this time of year, absolutely fantastic. Please do so. Hit the link in the chat. In fact, I will just post it one more time just to let everybody know exactly where it is that you can donate. We've got a £200 target we're hoping to hit tonight, £50 already done, so brilliant stuff already. Thank you to those who have already donated. On a lap number 4, Thomas following fastest lap there, but then taken by Kiki. Oh my goodness me, and Westy nearly into the back of Vitino there into turn number 1. Williams nearly rear-ending as Sean and Rob's going round, a little touch of contact, no damage to either car, or is there damage to the front wing of that Mercedes possibly on the right hand side? Let's just see in a wee minute. It's understeering, clipping the wall, and ooh, possibly too fast through that camera angle for me. Yeah, definitely end fence. No, it's not, it's still there. Everything's in order. So just trying to get the tyres back under control in terms of temperature. Oh no, there is damage actually. Yeah, I can see it now actually. The light's just giving me the wrong angle. Oh my goodness me. Baby cars. That was not PG. A little bit of lag there, and you can see it just ghosted the two of them out on our screen. That doesn't mean that's exactly what they're seeing. Remember, it can be a little bit different from the driver's point of view. And still Kiki holding on to that third position with Vitino, Westy and Jorti just behind as well. Does Vitino fancy a chance at a turn 1? No, things better off it. Kiki's got a penalty though as we go into the final lap of this round in Canada. And Vitino all over the back. Here is Westy to come through the chicane of 3 and 4, run it up to the wall. Oh my goodness me, and that's surely damage for Westy on the front end fence on his left hand side, and yes it is, you can see it there, it is missing. So last lap he's going to be understeering slightly. DRS open down towards turns 7, 8 and 9, and then nobody making any moves, so any lunges into the hairpin. Dan looks like if he can just control it through the hairpin here, he might just have Thomas's number. Vitino up the inside into the hairpin on Kiki. Can he hold the position? Touching the wheels a little bit of a tap. And they're going to go side by side. Who's got the DRS there? It's Vitino who's got DRS. We've got yellow flag in sector 2. Thomas is right in the back. We've got contact everywhere. Kiki pushing along, and Dan's held on. Vitino's gone backwards. Jorti's gone through. Kiki got his elbows out there, I think. Westy picks up a penalty, and Thomas wins due to penalties. Dan in second. Kiki moves up to second due to Dan's penalties. Dan dropped down the field like a stone, so it's Thomas Jorti in second, having finished 4th on the road. Kiki in 3rd, Vitino 4th, Dan down to 5th, Westy in 6th, Sean 7th, Mason 8th, Alan K 9th, Robin 10th, here comes Graham across the line for 11th, Honey Badger will be 12th, Tom in 13th. That was a bit frantic, typical Canada. Plenty of DRS action, plenty of slipstreaming. Little bit of contact, just need to cut that out a little bit, guys, come on. Keep it clean. 2 seconds, I'll be back in just a moment as Honey Badger crashes into the wall as he crosses the line, and Tom crossing the line as well. But that's your race winner, 3 in a row for Thomas. That's a 2nd and 3 first positions already for the Mercedes driver. Brilliant stuff from him. As you see the podium celebrations, it's time for the next question in their little quiz that we have going on. This one's about the Canadian Grand Prix, and Nigel Mansell famously threw away victory in 1991 on the final lap. Some say he left it in too high a gear, waving to the crowd. Some say he actually ran out of fuel. Who knows? The one I want to know, who won the race? who benefited from Mansell retiring on the final lap at the hairpin and won that race? That's your quiz question before the next round. Tell me what you think the answer is below in the chat, and I'll tell you if you're right. Come and get involved with this chat. Keep me company here tonight, folks. Who won the 1991 Canadian Grand Prix is basically what I'm asking you. It's the famous one that Nigel Mansell was winning easily in the Williams FW14 until he chucked it. Did he run out of fuel? Did he leave it in too high a gear? Who knows? May's giving me another hi. Keep me company, mate. I know you're racing. Do you know the answer, Maze, to who won the 1991 Canadian Grand Prix? Does anybody know? Before we get started with the next lobby, that is your next quiz question. I've only had one answer so far, and it was all the way back on the first question from Lucy Davis telling me that Keke Rosberg won the Australian Grand Prix. Who won the 91 Canadian Grand Prix? Don't tell me yous are too young, because this is teaching you the history of the sport that you like. And trust me, if you want to know the history of the sport, I'm a bit of a history lover when it comes to F1, so tell me your thoughts, tell me what you think, tell me how your race has been, tell me how things have been. Does anybody out there want to come and have a wee chat with us in between? You know, chat's open, you can come and jump in. Lucy again in there. Piquet, right answer it was, Nelson Piquet in the Benetton. It was also his final F1 victory of his career as well, and of all the people to win when Mansell makes a mistake, probably the worst one he wanted was Piquet, because those two did not get on. So Lucy, 2 for 2, the two that you've answered. Nelson Piquet is the correct answer. He did benefit from Nigel Mansell retiring on the final lap at the 1991 Canadian Grand Prix. Well done to you again, Lucy. Next one's a doozy, if you want to know your history. Glad you're doing great, Lucy. It's great to have you along as well. Thank you very much. I hope you stick around for the rest of the stream. I hope my commentary and general jibber jabber is keeping you company. And it is great to see people making an effort for this. It is a great cause. They do plenty of stuff. You know, if you go to the website, I'm actually going to post the link to the Mental Health UK website. Because if you do feel like speaking to someone, or you want to get help from a charity that deal with mental health in your country, so they work with charities in Scotland, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, so you can pick the one that is most suitable for your country, and do have a check out. I'll go through some more details as we get the 5 red lights for Austria for the 5th round already. Thomas on pole position. Lucy saying I've got the best jibber jabber around. I will take that, thank you very much indeed. Up towards turn 1 we go, and Thomas on the inside. Rob's changed into the McLaren for this one. He's had enough of the Mercedes, decides a change of scenery. He's gone for Papaya. Well, it's rocketed him into the lead already, but Thomas is going to fight him back up towards turn number 3. There's a gaggle of cars in behind as well, plenty going on, and Thomas and Rob side by side down the field. There's a Williams going wide there. That will be Jorty using a little bit of the runoff to avoid any contact. Thomas onto the back of Sean, and Tom onto the back of Sean, as Thomas and Rob still fighting. You can see Tom and Maze there fighting side by side into turn number 4. Action down the field. We've got Captain Chubbs has joined us. We've got the Force India, a Tom, and he's in the wall again. That is not the first time. I just don't know if he's in the wrong place, wrong time. I've had that happen. It sucks, trust me. 2 Williams are pretty close together. In fact, Westy ghosting a little bit there as we're on board with Honey Badger, who's decided he fancies an Alfa Romeo for the moment in time into the final couple of corners. This will be a fast race. This is one of the shortest tracks of the calendar apart from Monaco. This is only about 60 plus seconds for a lap. Here you go, off the line. We're already 1 minute 9 or something that was there. Yeah, 1:09 after coming from a standing start. So you can imagine how quick this is going to be, and it gets even worse when you get the DRS kicking in. Kiki onto the back of Maze. Tom's into pit lane. Maze goes defensive, middle of the road. Kiki's gone very late on the brakes, and he's managed to make that one stick. That was not too bad at all. Maze has got a better run. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. There's bumping going on behind. Jorty's been bumped out. We're 3 wide towards turn number 3. This isn't going to end well. We've got a Toro Rosso. We've got an Alpha. We've got a Williams. We've got lagging. We've got ghosting. And thankfully everyone's came out the other side somehow. Although I think Honey Badger might have picked up some damage from that as Alan Kay sneaks up the inside of him. Westy side by side with Captain Chubbs, who's gone down the inside there into turn number 6. That's not normally an overtaking move, but Chubbs has made it work. That's a lovely little move there from him. Jorty gets by Graham, trying to get involved in the action as well as they come up towards the final corner. You can see there actually Jorty's got a ton of wing damage, so that's what the yellow Westy. He's got a ton of wing damage, he's here at the pit lane. Penalties galore coming through the field there. You can see Alan Kay onto the back of Graham coming up towards turn number 1. Does he fancy any move? No, thinks better off. We go back to Vittino. Westy's retired from the race. He decides doesn't fancy changing his wing because it's so quick around here, and Vittino's not going to go up the inside of two of them here. He's not. Mays, nice defensive driving there from the Ferrari, keeping it in the middle of the road, making the other cars have to go round him. Kiki holds on at the moment to 7th. No other changes down the field. Mays has been squeezed to the grass. Kiki's gone through. Vittino's going to try and go through as well. Mays holds it round the outside and he gets the power down. Now it's Ferrari versus Alpha. Kiki got that move done, and a bump there from Mays as they just get a bit too close to each other. Connections in the way. Still side by side as we come up to 7. Vittino's going to sweep round the outside. He's now got the inside for 8, but Mays has got the run out of the corner, holds the position. We come up to the final 2 turns of 9 and 10. Not an overtaking place into here, my Brazilian friend. Please keep it on the track. You've got DRS coming up 3 times in a row. That'll be your best shout, but Thomas leading again. It's just like real life, I guess. Mercedes at the front of the field constantly. Mays again, nice defensive driving. You've got Captain Chubbs has caught up to the back of this battle between these two now. He fancies his chances. Let's go on board with a Toro Rosso. In fact, Vittino has flew by in Mays so easily under DRS, but Mays is going to fight back under braking. A little bit of contact there, but Chubbs has now got the inside line and the better traction. He's got the move done on Mays. He's now side by side with Vittino. And up the inside goes Chubbs there, and he's made that move stick. Or has he? Wing damage on that Toro Rosso as well, so he's got some good pace despite the damage to that car, and he's moved up to 6th position. There's Dan Morris fighting with Sean. Red Bull versus Mercedes. Oh, how we hope for that next year. All year, please, Verstappen and Hamilton. Get Leclerc involved in a Ferrari as well, that'd be nice. Honey Badger going through on Jorty, who's struggling with wing damage as well. We'll jump back to see what Dan's doing. He's not done anything into turn 1. Yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Rob. Rob off from 2nd. He's spun at turn 1. He's dropped him down to 5th. He's going to drop down to about 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Ooh, a little bit of contact there as well. Sean and Dan side by side up towards turn number 3 as well. Back down Vittino has managed to get through on Captain Chubbs using the DRS. Dan here all over the back of the Red Bull, but the Red Bull's got the DRS to assist him. Holds that position. This is the final lap of this race here in Austria. And you can see Chubbs there with his damaged car trying to get up the inside. Gives plenty of space to Vittino. That's what we like to see. Good clean racing. You can see Mays and Honey Badger. Damage to the Ferrari, is there possibly? Yeah, maybe not. It does look okay. Coming up towards the line though, Thomas through the final corner. The man's on a charge. It's 4 from 5 already for Thomas. He wins in Austria. Sean coming across the line to take 2nd. A nice race from him. Dan sticks it in the wall at the end in 3rd. Kiki across the line for 4th. Vittino drags across the line in 5th, but Chubbs goes up to 5th. Mays in 6th. Honey Badger 7th. Vittino down to 8th. Jorty 9th. Graham 10th. Alan Kay in 11th. Carnage behind. Oh dearie me. Tom's going to cross the line shortly. Alan Kay's decided he's had enough of his car. Dan Morris has got about 2 wheels on his wagon. Oh dearie me. Just waiting on Tom finishing. He's got a few corners to go now. Austria's always one for crazy action. And here comes Tom across the line. You can see the 2 cars in the middle of the road. Tom sliding across the lines, weaving left to right, and he comes home. But Thomas with another victory. It's 4 from 5 now for the Mercedes driver, and I'm going to go straight on to the next question. This one's about the Austrian Grand Prix. This one's a really good one. This is one of those ones that you maybe wouldn't think of. So at the 1982 Austrian Grand Prix, something happened for the first time. What was it? So 1982 Austrian Grand Prix, what did we finally see for the first time? It's something we see all the time now. It's something we take in a way for granted when it comes to racing. Okay, part of it's not in existence anymore, but it's besides the point. So what did we see for the first time at the 1982 Austrian Grand Prix? Does anyone other than Lucy Davis fancy answering this one? As you see the standings there, Thomas, Sean and Dan on the podium for Austria. Kiki, Chubbs, Mays, Honeybadger, Vittino, Jorti and Graham rounded out the top 10. Alan Kay, Rob, Tom and Westy rounded out the field. Westy retiring after some major wing damage on lap number 1. So come on, Google doesn't take that long if you're cheating. What happened for the first time at the 1982 Austrian Grand Prix? Remember, we are here tonight raising funds for Mental Health UK. Mental Health UK supports people affected by mental health problems, including friends, family and carers. They're working across the UK, bringing together over 40 years of expertise from our 4 national founding charity partners to improve the understanding and provide vital care. As I say, a few examples of that are support groups. It can be advice, which can also include money advice, just general information in regards to mental health. £10 could help give 30 people the vital information they need to help people learn about mental health. And if I just click to the page I'm looking for, I'll be able to tell you the 4 individual charities per country. So in England it's Rethink Mental Illness. In Wales it's HAFAL. In Scotland it's Support in Mind Scotland, and if you're in Northern Ireland they work with Mindwise. So those are the 4 local country charities that Mental Health UK work in tandem with. Anyone get the answer to my question? Nobody had a clue. So the answer to the 1982 Austrian Grand Prix, the first time ever, was a tactical pit stop. So in 1982 the Brabham team actually made a car where they could refuel, and the problem was the BMW engine kept blowing up, so they never got the chance to do it. They tried to do it in 1981. At the Austrian Grand Prix in 1982, they finally got the car to the pit stop phase, refueled and changed to 4 tyres. Problem was the engine blew up not long after it, so that's what happened, and we take pit stops for granted these days in F1 as we're here at Silverstone, the home of Formula 1, if you ask me, for lights out, and away we go for the next round. And it is Jorti at the lead. He'll be hoping for that. That's wing damage already, for crying out loud, guys. Get through turn 1. Oh, we've got cars all over the place. Rob sideways in the McLaren into turn number 1. Plenty going on up towards the arena section. We're not going to go 3, 4, 5 wide into there. There's a Williams going round. That is Westy. Alan Kay's been caught out a little bit in that as well. Rob's got going. Carnage everywhere, guys. You need to calm down. Come on. You can see Honeybadger and Vittino. In fact, Honeybadger's going to try and go the long way round on S. Graham. He's going to get that move done as well. Seen that from his teammates' point of view there, and that's a nice move from Honeybadger. You can see Tom has got a move nearly done there on Vittino, but Vittino holds him off as Thomas having to come through from the back of the field. He's already up 2 places, up to 9th position, having won the earlier rounds, but it's Jorti who leads. You can see Dan Morris right onto the back of the Williams here to go through Maggots and Beckett's, one of the best sections of track anywhere in the world. I will challenge you to find anything better than that in the F1 calendar, apart from maybe Eau Rouge. Even that's different. Captain Chubbs though right onto the back of the Mercedes now of Dan, going into Stowe corner but not able to make the move. Anyone else making a move further back? Yeah, but Honeybadger has done so. Looks like Alan's lot dropped out of the session, so he's had a few issues there. It means with the migration of host is Thomas comes through on Mays, nearly on Vittino, sorry, just past Graham. I was seeing a Ferrari in the background getting the two of them mixed up. So you can see Alan's still on the track, but he's ghosting, so that means he's left the session. He'll be back with us shortly, I'm sure. Dan Morris is still managing to hold off Captain Chubbs at the moment, up at the front, lap 2 of 5. Vittino has retired from the session. What has happened to the Alpha? Well, it looks like he might have binned it somewhere through there, maybe. Oh, it retired on track, who knows? Tricky one to tell. Rob into pit lane, Alan's Ghost is into pit lane as well. Biggest gainers in the open lap, a number of drivers up 4 places, Thomas, Tom and Honey Badger. Kiki up 2, he's got Honey Badger right behind him as well. Graham down 4 positions from his starting place. But up front, heading up to Cop's Corner, Jorty, Dan Morris, Captain Chubbs, Williams, Mercedes, Toro Rosso, up through Maggot, into Beckett's, down to 7th gear and then down to 5th gear, back up to 6th for Chapel, onto the hangar straight. DRS not enabled yet, will be next time by, but Dan's got a great run. He's in the slipstream of the Williams, so Williams is going to go defensive into Stowe. Dan's going to have to launch one up the inside into a very quick corner. He's got that move. Honey Badger's gone through on Kiki. Thomas has got through as well on Mays, and look at that, Jorty's held on to the lead of the race there from Dan Morris, so he's managed to get the move, the position held as they come up towards Abbey Curve for the third time. DRS will be enabled now. Graham into pit lane. Does Dan fancy a move round the outside of the Williams? A little bit of contact there. The Toro Rosso, can he take advantage? Dan's up the inside, poor camera angles all round. Unbelievable stuff, and Jorty's down to 3rd. Can he hold on? He's not got DRS. Everybody else does. Sitting duck is the Williams. Can he hold on to the position? Coming into Brooklands. Round the outside. He's now got the inside for Luffield. Torres on his outside. Chubbs. Back and forth they go. And Jorty holds on. So instead of losing 2 places, he only loses the 1. Good stuff from him. Coming up to Cops. He's not going to go Captain Chubbs side by side into Cops, is he? No. Backs out of that one. Westy has dropped down. Tom's starting to catch up to the back of him. Graham out of pit lane. It is a long pit lane round here. Don't worry, pits are long here at Silverstone. And Honey Badger into the wall. So there's a crash for Honey Badger. Not quite sure where that one is. See if I can pick that one up. Oh, it was coming out onto Chapel. He caught the grass. Huge impact with the wall. And into the barrier he goes. Jorty is on the back of Captain Chubbs. Still battling these two. Jorty's lost out to the Toro Rosso. And Jorty, will he fancy a move down towards Brooklands? 2 laps to go on this one. We're already plenty the way through. Tom Zagers in the chat. Ouch. Yeah, if that was real, that would have been a sore one for the Alpha for sure. Jorty's not close enough to make a move into Brooklands. Kiki's catching up to the top of him as well. And Thomas catching up as well, up 6 places from where he started. Excuse me, in the Mercedes. He's won 4 out of 5 races already, so he's flying along nicely. Dan Morris leading at the front though. Alan Kay's not back in just yet. Sure he will be before the start of the next race. Dan Morris with a 2-second penalty. He's got Captain Chubbs catching up to him. Thomas, can he get a good run here on Kiki? Down towards Stowe, you can see Jorty's not close enough, so we'll watch Thomas and Kiki going side by side into Stowe corner. Goes the Mercedes, nicely done, and he is through it up into 4th position. Chubbs is a second behind on Dan Morris. You can see the Mercedes there just up ahead. Lovely camera as they come flying over the top of us, or near enough anyway. And on to the final lap. Dan leads from Chubbs, Jorty, Thomas and Kiki. The top 5 covered by just 2.7 seconds, and Jorty's gone off and retired. Where is that? He's, well, that is miles off the track, wherever he is. Let's jump on board with Tom, see if we can spot the Erin Williams, and oh my goodness, he is well off. He's dropped it through Abbey Curve, and the car's just pirouetted across the pit lane exit into the wall on the far side, and Jorti out of the race as Kiki gets a 2-second time penalty on the final lap. That's not going to help him in any way. Westy closing up to the back of Mays. Come through towards Cops, we come back to the front end. Thomas is flying through, he's catching up to Chubbs very quickly. And it looks like Toro Rosso's going to have to do a good defensive job here. 2-second penalty's not going to help though. That's probably going to give Thomas the win now, if he can close up enough. Here we go, down towards Stowe Corner. There's not enough Chub lollies in the world, Chubba Chubs, to stop that Mercedes coming through, sweeping round the outside. And Captain Chubbs down to second position. Across the line up front though is Dan Morris in the Mercedes. Decides to make a switch, gets a bit better luck, and he crosses the line to win on the road. Does he hold on to it? Yes he does. Tom will finish, Thomas second. Kiki takes third as Captain Chubbs down to fourth. Westy did get through on Mays there in the final lap, so he's up to fifth with Mays in sixth. Tom comes through, no damage for the racing point this time by. That's a result in its own right for him. He's had a horrid time already with the pumpkin helmet. Through for seventh. There's Rob Forbes. I believe he didn't have to make a pit stop, but he got caught up in lap one. A lot of wing damage, as you can see there on the left hand side. Our right, he's got Graham catching up to him, but will he be close enough before the end? We will not know. Well, we will know soon. Alan Kay going around as a ghost. That will give us time before the next race to have a wee look and see if there's any changes to the donations. I'm hoping there is. I'm hoping you guys are helping us out here to raise some fantastic funds for a fantastic charity in Mental Health UK. That's Rob Forbes. Comes across the line to take 8th. S. Graham in the Ferrari will take 9th, and Alan Kay ghosting running in 10th. I thought it was going to give me longer than that, but it's not. So Dan Morris wins this one. So Dan, Jorti, Dan Morris, Jorti with 1 win each, and Thomas with 4. We've had another wee small donation. We're up to £54 now. Lucy, thank you very much indeed, Lucy. £4 plus the £1 gift aid as well. Together we will beat mental health. Amen to that one, sister. Amen to that. Absolutely. So another race done. Time for another trivia question, and you'll notice a theme. I don't do recent stuff. Anyone who knows me knows I love the history of the sport. So here's another one for you. The Williams team's obviously quite synonymous with the sport. It's quite synonymous with Silverstone. Who remembers Mansellmania, for example? The team also took its first victory at Silverstone all the way back in 1979, back before they were the powerhouse that they once were in the 90s. I know they're not quite there yet now. But who's the driver that took the first one for Williams at the 1979 British Grand Prix at Silverstone? Who drove that car? Tell me below. Tell me in the chat. Just going to take a moment here because I've been talking non-stop, so I need a wee moment here. So just going to go quiet for a moment before we get on to Germany. I'll be back with you in just a moment's time. So we're waiting to start up for the next round, which is Germany. Burnt Fry, my friend, how are you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining us. I need some company. Running solo, doing a quiz. look above, you'll get the links if you do wish to donate. Doing the charity stream tonight, buddy, for Mental Health UK. If you've got anything you can help us out with, would be amazing. I'm doing not too bad. Knackered. I've still got a long way to go yet, and I'm already knackered, so that's not a good sign. But away from that, I'm good. I need to come back and race at some point with next gen, but well, work shifts are preventing a lot of things now. So I'm still around, as you see on the forum. Can't beat the birthday posts. I'll just leave that one there. Also, we got a new driver in Javier joining us as well. For this one, we're heading to Hockenheim, and there was no answer to the quiz question again. Who was the driver that helped Williams take their first ever Grand Prix victory in the 1979 British Grand Prix? It was the Swiss driver Clay Regazzoni. He was the one who took that famous first victory in 1979. The next one for Germany is a good one. It's one everybody's seen, but you probably don't know the answer to. You were you say it too late, Lucy. Too late. It just gave the answer. Just a wee bit earlier, you would have had it. Regazzoni is the right answer. It was Clay Regazzoni, but just a tad too late there on that one, unfortunately. Yeah, birthday posts are the best as we're underway here at Hockenheim. Tom in the lead, so we were trying to avoid any damage. There's a bit of lagging going on behind because there's a Red Bull going inside the Williams, and that's definitely one for Pornhub. As we head up towards turn number 2, and you can see that the Red Bull and the Williams are still basically locked together. As Graham's in second, it's Kiki, excuse me, in third, Captain Chubbs in fourth, Dan's in fifth, with Sean in sixth. They're going side by side up towards turn number 6 through the Parabolica. Keep it clean up into here, gentlemen and ladies and everybody else. Who's making the moves? Kiki's through, he's up into third position. Chubb's down to fourth. Honey Badger's retired from the session in the background. I think he might have been punted aside possibly. May's down at the back now as Tom holds on to the lead. Chubbs has got back through. It looks like Kiki's going. It is mental. We're getting 4 wide coming into here. Calm down, calm down. Goodness me. Williams going off in the background. That looked like it might have been Westy who was going wide. Look at this mentalness ahead of us into the stadium section. They're basically side by side the entire lap. Into the Sachs curve we go, looking on from 10th position. You can see all the way up to 3rd nearly. In fact, you can see up to 3rd. That's Kiki you see at the front of this train. Thomas has got his way through. Chubbs has ran wide there, coming out of the final corner. That's allowed him through. We're not going to go not 3 wide. Goodness me. And the McLaren's in the wall, and well, I would have backed out of that one if I was you, Kiki. That was never going to happen. In the middle of nowhere there. I'm sure you'll be able to type faster next time, Lucy. Absolutely. But you are right. I'm impressed with some of your knowledge. I must be honest with you. I mean, I don't make these questions easy, even though it's for fun. There's Vittino going around the outside of Dan Morris. You can see the other Mercedes getting a bit of contact there with Rob Forbes. Tom out in front from Graham. Kiki's retired from the session, so 2 retirements already. And Sean in 7th, there you got Jorty in 8th, Captain Chubbs down to 9th. There's Mays in 10th, Wasty catching up in 11th, Vittino getting a penalty there for running wide. You can see the Red Bull of Sean looking up the inside into the stadium section. That was never going to work. Oh dear. And well, got Captain Chubbs in the wall, Sean off the track as well. Tried to go up the inside of the stadium section. Vittino came across. Not the greatest camera angle. And that's another one down the field as Dan Morris into pit lane. Yeah, it's been a bit too much, Tom. I'll be honest with you. Might only be 5 lappers, it's for fun. People just need to calm down a bit, but sometimes the red mist descends. Maybe take a break, maybe come join back in later on, maybe you'll enjoy the last couple of races. You see Jorty going up the inside, that was a bit late there as he tried to make the move done, and Graham's been punted backwards because Westy came through and mugged him there as well. We're not going to go 3 wide with him. Westy across the grass, need to be careful as they come into the Mercedes stand section at turn 8. I've got yellow flag, Tom up ahead, he's off the road. Oh, Graham just avoids him in the racing point. Look at Mays coming through now, trying to find some gap. He's had to back out. We've got Vertino round. More damage, more contact, more flying parts. That was Jorti who I think got in contact with him. We've now got someone else around there as well, just trying to find out. It's a Ferrari of Graham Vitino's retired from the session. And, well, yeah, it's not helping me there, unfortunately. I think the lobby's a bit laggy as well, which I don't think helps, because I'm seeing some lag on my side of things too. But looking back to what we can see, Thomas out in front, up 6 places, Rob's up 8th and 2nd, Westy onto the back of him in 3rd, so flying along the top 3. Got a bit of a gap over Tom in 4th. It's Rob, that was lick a stamp, send it, return to sender and back around the world again. That was very late from Rob there, but he's made the move, and Thomas is going to try and make the move back on Westy into the Mercedes grandstand, and Rob's ran wide, and well, I'm sure Thomas will be shouting karma at that one. There's the front wing damage in the McLaren, causes him to run wide. As you can see, Tom in 4th, Mays 5th, Jorti in 6th position. You got Graham in 7th, Dan Morris 8th, Sean in 9th. 9 runners still running around the track. On to the final lap, we're about to go. It's Thomas looking for victory number 5 already tonight, having won in Bahrain, Spain, Canada and Austria. Germany will be another one as Westy picks up a penalty. Very easy to do around here. The redeveloped Hockenheim, no longer the blast into the forest that it used to be. There's nothing better than seeing the skinny rear wings and a V12 Ferrari flying through the forest. As you see, Jorti has made his way through on Mays, trying to follow the battle for the lead as Westy. He's going to have to go the long way round at the hairpin. Can he get the switch back on the Mercedes? Nicely parked though by Thomas, and now it's a drag race down towards turn number 7. It's a Ferrari going up the inside. It was Mays. He's been caught doing a bit of a corner cut while he's at it, so it's going to cost him a penalty. And look at these two, lovely overhead camera shot coming up to the stadium section for the final time here at Hockenheim. Thomas and Westy, a little bit of lag there you can see on Thomas's side of things through the stadium section. Thomas has ran wide, but he's got in the middle of the track for the Sachs curve. Bump there on the way through, sticking with the overhead shot. I love this helicopter shot, so I do. Into the final couple of corners. Westy does have a penalty, I don't know if Thomas does. Through the final corner, Thomas is going to cross the line in front just by a tenth of a second from Westy. Rob drops down to 4th, Jorti takes 3rd, Tom in 5th, Mays in 6th, drag race to the line there, Graham 7th, Dan Morris is going to cross the line in 8th, and Sean will finish off in 9th position. Number of retirements through that one. Dan sets fastest lap in the final lap as well, very nice, 1:13.1. So, before the next round, which I believe is Hungary. No, it's Belgium. Belgium next. Question for the German Grand Prix now. We've all seen this on the videos. I know you have, right? It does go back to 1982 though. So, Nelson Piquet got taken out in the 1982 German Grand Prix while lapping somebody. Afterwards, he got out of the car and done a bit of kung fu on that particular driver. Who was that driver that Nelson Piquet decided to do a bit of kung fu with in 1982 in Germany? Obviously, the Brazilian was very upset. He'd just been punted out of the race. Who was it, though, on the receiving end of some Brazilian kung fu jiu-jitsu? Answers in the chat. I'll be back with you. So that's the end of Germany. We're heading to the famous Spa-Francorchamps for the next round. But can you answer the quiz question? Who did Nelson Piquet get into a fight with after being taken out of the 1982 German Grand Prix? Answers in the chat, please. Who was the driver on the end of some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Kung Fu in 1982? While we are waiting for lobby to load for a Berjam, let's do a wee refresh and see if we've picked up any additional funds. No further donations since the last one by Lucy. We're at £54 of our £200 target, so come on guys, even just a few pound would be absolutely fantastic if you could. It's for a great cause. Even if the driving's got a bit of to it, it's for fun. The main reason though is to raise money. That is the main reason, to help people out there who are suffering with mental health issues, who find it hard to find the right people to speak to, who find it, even for family members who have got someone suffering from mental health, to help them find the right information to help that family member. By donating tonight, you can help Mental Health UK and its associated charities in each of the 4 home nations to help more people. Donate as much or as little as you can. I will put a link to the page just now. Please, please, anything you can help out with will be vastly and greatly appreciated. As 5 red lights are off and away we go in Belgium. See what we get this time. Down towards turn 1 into La Source. No dive bombs please as we go 3 or 4 wide. Keep it clean. Oh no, I see a front wing going off. Oh dear. Looks like Kiki got caught out on that. I don't know who else was. We're going up to Eau Rouge 2-3. Oh my goodness me, this is going to end in absolute tears. How is everybody still on the track? Goodness me, that didn't die. We've got plenty going on. Look at this, they're pushing and it's just lagging everywhere by the looks of it, as they're struggling to figure out who's actually side by side. Into the Lecoms, it looks like Tom's decided to dive out the way. Sean, I think, has been spun round. Graham's round. Maze is in there. Kiki's in there. Sean's retired. Graham's left the session. Too much going on. Plenty happening. Not all good. Jorty's out in the lead by a second from Captain Chubbs. Javier, who's joined us in 3rd. Dan Morrison 4th with Tom in 5th. Vittorino in 6th with damaged front wing as Rob's going to go a long way round coming out of Pujon. Nicely done there from Rob Forbes. Up the inside into the fans chicane, and look at that, Westy's going to sneak his way by as well around the outside. No, he's not able to do so at the moment, so he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Thomas is up there as well in 9th, trying to make his way through, but I think he might just have some damage to that car. Yes, he does. He's both sides missing the end fence. May's down in 10th. Graham's left the session. Kiki's left the session. Sean's left the session. Oh no, Sean. Yes, Sean has left the session. So too much. Westy round the outside, and Vittino tried to keep it on the track there as they go through Blanchimont. You see Thomas away into pit lane. Deary. Vittino left the session. Westy into La Source onto the back of Tom. It's still Jorty out front going up the hill through Eau Rouge. That's Radio in there actually. I know, dead meme. You see Javier there in 4th just behind Dan Morris. He's got Rob Forbes up in 5th. Javier, the biggest gainer on the opening lap, up 6 places. Javier down at 2, along with Tom down 3, Sean down 4, not in control of his car at the moment, as Westy's just gone past on Tom for 6, so nice move there. Pit stops galore down the field with the Ghost Control, the AI cars, and Rob's all over the back of Javier, who's made a bit of a mess of that. trying to hold on, and Rob sneaks through into X corner, as it's now known as, previously corner with no name, down the hill through Pujon, on board with the McLaren. Can he catch up to Dan? Both of them up 6 places now, Dan and Rob. He's only 2.5 seconds behind. There's a long old lap here. Captain Chubb slowly catching up to the back of Jorti. He's going to have DRS up towards Lacombs next time by as well if he stays behind the Williams here, but he's closing in at a vast rate of knots. Oh, he's going to have him into the chicane here, round the outside. He's going to have to go the long way round, hard on the brakes, go for him. Up the inside goes Jorti, hold the position. And Captain Chubbs will have to wait one more time. Can he do anything into La Source? His best thing here would be just hit the brakes, store the battery, get on the power, and slipstream your way up the hill, up through Eau Rouge. I'd maybe even save the battery here, because he's closing at a hell of a rate of knots. Get a good exit over the top of the hill, there you go. This should be an easy move for the Toro Rosso. He's got DRS open now, and he's just sailing on by. I'm just sailing, always sailing by the sea. Sorry, I've just got a bit distracted there with something else. So Chubbs up into second place, Jorti, up to first, Jorti down to second, Dan in third, Rob Forbes in fourth, Javier in fifth, being caught by Westy in sixth, with Tom 7th. Thomas in 9th is still running. Mays is still running down in 11th, everyone else is ghosting. So we'll concentrate further out. And Westy's right onto the back of Javier. In fact, Westy's going round the outside into the fan chicane. That's a lovely little move before they reach Stavolo. Nicely done there from Westy. Now, who in the chat wants to see me suck on a pad? Who wants me to try Italy on the pad when I've not done the pad in don't know how long? Could be fun, could be terrible. No assist as well. Drop the chat if you want to see that absolute mind mess from the next round. Dan Morris across the line with the fastest lap, as Rob still trying to close up. Jorti still close to the back of Captain Chubbs as they go through La Source up towards Eau Rouge one more time. Oh, excuse me. We've still got a few races to go. We've still got Italy, Singapore, Russia, Japan, Mexico, USA and Brazil if we get through everything tonight. We'll wait and see how that one works. Easy. Everyone's still as they were. Mays has passed the ghost car off Sean. Thomas slowly catching up to Tom. Javier still going around. Westy's pulled away quite quickly from the Alpha, so the closest battle is your lead battle, with the top three separated by about a second and a bit, coming towards the final lap of the race here in Belgium. You are tuned in to TTTV. If you haven't already done so, please do give us a subscribe. We do have plenty of action. In fact, you can join myself and Kieran McGinley tomorrow night for the final round of TTL F1, which will be at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. I've just given away one of the quiz questions like an idiot. At Interlagos. I'll leave I get our question for Brazil now. That was actually the quiz question. Idiot. That's what I get for reading off my screen. We'll be live from 8 o'clock tomorrow for that. There's also action on Friday night. There will be the final round of the Project Cars 2 League on Monday night. There'll also be the final round for TTL F2 on Tuesday night as well. So plenty of action all the way through the week here on TTTV. Give us a subscribe. But since you're here tonight, please do click that link in the chat and drop a small donation in of your choosing to Mental Health UK, helping out people get all the information they need and the help they require to help with their mental health. As you see here, Jorti and Dan Morris having a A little bit of a Luigi's Mansion free moment there as they ghost their way into each other. Dan nicely holding on round the outside though into the comms from the Williams driver, and he's going to have to think of something else if he wants to steal away second place before the end of the race. Captain Chubbs out in front throwing his lollipops behind the Chub Chub machine. Anyone who doesn't know about Chub Chub lollies, and you're much younger than I am, he is pretty happy if these two were at the battle. You see Rob Forbes still just there in the background, just can't quite close up to the back of him. You see Jorty got a much better run there. Javier picks up a penalty. Jorty to the right, to the left, he's going to go round the outside, and Jorty goes round the outside. No, he doesn't, he can't get the power down going through the inside. Dan sweeps round the outside instead, holding on to second position as he comes through Stavolo up towards Blanchimont for a final time. You can see the Williams has got the power and the ERS turned up, that they all do, heading towards the line. Is anybody going to run out of fuel? Can you imagine if that happened here? But up towards the line we go, up towards the bus stop chicane, through Blanchimont, up to the bus stop, hard on the brakes for the final time. Oh, Dan, that was cheeky. Dan's going to cross the line for the win, but well, come on, that was cheeky. Jorty second, Rob Forbes in third, Westy will be fourth, Chubbs in fifth. I think Dan and Chubbs are good friends, so maybe there was a joke in there between the two. I really do hope so. Javier in sixth, Tom will take seventh with Thomas in eighth, and Mays will be the last one to cross the line in what is technically ninth place, because Vittino is no longer in control of that car. Whew. And there we go, all the drivers finally across the line, and with a bit of a NASCAR style bump and run by the looks of it. Dan Morris takes the victory this time by in the other Mercedes, so still a Mercedes at the top. At least we're going a bit like real life. Mercedes domination. So Dan, Jorty and Rob, your top three, with Westy fourth, Captain Chubbs in fifth, Javier sixth, Tom seventh, Thomas in eighth, Vittino was not in control of the car in ninth, Mason 10th, everyone else dropped out of the session. And your Belgium Grand Prix question, now this is a wee bit more recent. Which driver was famously split by Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher during the 2000 Belgium Grand Prix as the Finn passed his way past the German for the win? So it's the famous move, McLaren one side, Ferrari the other, there's a car in the middle. Who was it? And if you can name me the team, bonus point, just for the fun of it. So who was the driver getting the fright of his life while he was lapped? What have I done? Broke my laptop. Really broke it. There we go. Right, so can you name that driver who got passed by both Schumacher and Hakkinen at the 2000 Belgium Grand Prix? If I hit... that's why I'm doing it. There we go, it's me. Not broke anything. Leaving my controller on the wrong bit. So that's Belgium done as we move on to Italia. As we move on with this charity night. 8 done, 7 to go. And no answers by the looks of it. Come on, surely you knew that one. The infamous pass up towards Le Combe by Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher. The car in the middle of the two of them was the British American Racing BAR of the Brazilian Ricardo Zonta. Everybody knows that one. I am very surprised nobody put anything and guessed that one at all. Come on! As we head to Monza, the Temple of Speed, just north of Milan, home of the Italian Grand Prix. The quiz questions in regards to Monza. Looks like we've had a few other drivers join to replace some of those that have left, so we've got unsafe release. Let's hope there is no unsafe release there tonight. And Lickle Blocks has joined us as well for a few races. I might jump in soon and have a wee chuckle. Maybe do Japan, don't mind that. But it'll be on the pad. And it looks like the lobby's froze. I've seen that spinning circle before. Well, this is fun. Oh no, wait a minute, we're getting ticks. Maybe it's not. See if we can get these last couple of ticks and get underway. This is a lot longer than normal, which is not what we need. Yeah, I think we have had some issues with the lobby, which is just brilliant. Last thing you need in anything you do, let me tell you. So while we've got this moment, I am going to play some miserable music. Well, non-copyrighted music, just while we figure out what's going on. Once the ads have finished, it gives me a chance to rest my throat. Be back with you shortly. Actually scrap that, because we seem to have some cars going round. So there you go. So Javi is in the lead, Thomas is in second, ghosting. Yeah, there's cars in the grid, the lobby's had it. Tom in third. See a number of cars still stuck in the grid. This is what happens when you do things live, everything goes wrong. Maze is ghosting. Rob Forbes is ghosting. Izzy Jorty's stuck on the grid, as is Dan, Captain Chubbs, an unsafe release, and Ickleblox is nowhere either, as there he goes. So finally cars get moving off the grid. So I've got no idea what's happening here. Everything has gone kaput. Some cars getting left on the grid, some finally underway. Yeah. Live stuff, brilliant. So there's going to be a new lobby, so I'm going to get out of this one, because we don't need to see that. While we wait on the new lobby being loaded, I'll go back to the music. looks like we're nearly ready to get back underway after that lobby issue. Let's just leave it at that. The joys of running live, all the things that can go wrong usually do. There you go. So remember, obviously, we are here tonight raising money for Mental Health UK to help people across the United Kingdom in regards to their mental health issues. That can be anything from anxiety, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, depression. Can even be things like an eating disorder, even a personality disorder. Schizophrenia, psychosis, post-traumatic stress, all sorts of things that can technically be classed as mental health. And Mental Health UK trying to put the information in the right people's hands to help them, to help the individuals suffering from these issues to feel, to improve, to try and help improve their mental health, to give them someone to speak to give them information to be able to help them where to go to for like group sessions and advice and stuff like that. It helps family members and carers on how to deal with this kind of thing as well. £10 can put that information in up to 30 people's hands. Just by putting £10 can do that for 30 people. Even if you donate £1, you're going to help in some way. Click the donation button, click the link that is in the chat, click on donate whatever you can. And everything is hugely appreciated as well. If you are still kicking about in the chat, thank you. It's always nice to be company, and there's been a few bits and pieces tonight, and well, some bits have been not so great, shall we say. But we're going on to Italy, and hopefully this time the lobby will load. I'm going to take a moment to get a drink of juice. And just in the chat as well just now, I'm going to post the link to Mental Health UK on their website. If you are wanting to have a look, you can have a read. If you feel you may be suffering, do speak to somebody. Give us a chat to them. There's people there to help as we finally get underway at Monza for the next race here. As Dan Morris leads, got the two Ferraris coming along, Maze and Unsafe Release. Look at the Mercedes at Thomas up the inside. He's going to make it 3 wide. There's some late braking into the chicane. Can everybody make it through? Please make it through clean through the race, please guys, come on. And it looks like everybody has just about got away with it so far. Thomas holding on to second. Unsafe Release coming along as we come into the second chicane, the Rettifilio chicane. Look at that, Captain Chubbs in the McLaren now around the outside. Nicely done, he's got that move done. He's up to third, so Unsafe Release down to fourth. Rob Forbes trying to come by in fifth. There's Lickle Blocks coming through in the Williams in sixth, passing Maze. We've got Jono in there as well. He is in eighth in the Renault with Javier in ninth, Tom in ninth, Javier in 10th, Jorti and Westy 11th and 12th. Up towards the Ascari chicane, and well, would you look at that, it's a Mercedes 1-2. History's repeating itself. Javier going by on Tom, who's about to get dragged like absolutely nothing else by Jorti down towards the Parabolica, and the Haas driver gets that move done as the Racing Point tries to go up the inside. Can he get a good run out of here? He's gone to the inside line, but nothing happening. No dice. Westy trying to hold on, so up towards turn 1 we go again into the Roggia chicane, sorry if I got the names right, into the first chicane anyway. And you can see Rob Forbes has gone by on Unsafe Release just there in the background. Nice little move there. Jorti has completely missed. Just go through the bollard, son. There you go, that's better. Tom's followed him as well, so something going on there between those guys in the background means that they've dropped down the field. As you can see, Jono going up the inside on Maze. Maze still there on the outside. The Renault gives him just enough room there, but he has to concede the position, taking it to the curb as Maze, and he's down to 8th position. He's now got Javier onto the back of him. Westy's on there as well. Rob Forbes and Captain Shot. Well, That's a bit laggy, so Chubbs is 3rd. By the looks of it, with Rob in 4th and Unsafe Release in 5th, so that's how they were, so that's fine. You just seen it jumping about. Oh my goodness me, and Chubbs has got a huge tank slapper coming out of Ascari. He's managed to save it somehow. Goodness me, that was a big moment there from the McLaren, but there you go. Mercedes, McLaren. I wouldn't say no to that in real life, would you? I certainly wouldn't. Into lap 2, start of lap 3. Who's making the moves? Well, Thomas is having to go defensive because Rob's looking pretty quick, but so is Dan. He's going defensive as well. Keep on the brakes nicely, guys, and it's on number 1. Safely through goes everybody, and look at this, we've got the top 6 covered by 2 seconds. This is much more like it. This is what we like to see, clean racing, close field altogether. Westy's just gone by on Javier. As you can see, the Mercedes again. Thomas going to go the long way round on Dan. He's kind of came across him there a little bit. It is a bit laggy, of course. Rob's gone through. You can see in the background, you've got Unsafe Release and Little Blocks. And Block's going to try around the outside at Lesmo. That's not normally an overtaking position, no. Let's be perfectly honest about that one. And he has to hold on for the meantime. Here goes Thomas on Rob. You've got to watch out though, because the other McLaren's right there as well with DRS into the braking zone. They come, and holding station just now. Unsafe Release getting a penalty for track limits. And now, oh goodness me, that's Javier going off there. I just caught the end of that. Westy had gone by on Maze, and I think Javier just lost control under braking. You can see Tom spinning round there, getting caught out. He's into the wall. That's going to be damage for the Racing Point, and that's going to drop him down the field. But back to the front, look at this top 6 still close together onto the penultimate lap. Dan's trying to break the slipstream. Rob just trying anything he can. He's going to have to go the long way around really late in the brakes. He's got the inside line. He's going to squeeze. They're still side by side. That's a bit more like it. Let's jump on board with Thomas, who's sneaking his way through now, coming up to the Curva Grande. Lewis has joined, so we're going to get another driver in for the next race as well. Side by side going to Mercedes. Oh, Rob, that's a late lunge, that one, my friend. Lucky to get away with that. Little Blocks sideways coming out of the second chicane. Unsafe Release carrying on through. Guys, just need to calm down a little bit. I know it's for fun, but keep it clean, eh? Come on. Fast use a few times now. Don't make me get the stick out. Goodness me. Little Blocks onto the back. Who's going to try anything? Coming up towards Scary. Rob looks like he fancies a move on his teammate into a Scary. Oh, contact between them, and Chubbs is round. An Unsafe Release into him, and Little Block. Oh my goodness me. Carnage. Everybody's caught up in it. Jeano's caught up in it. Westy's through into 3rd from 8th there, just in one move. Jorty through as well. Unsafe Release somehow managed to avoid all of that. Dan Morris back underway. Maze is up to 6. Little Blocks. Rob Forbes, Captain Chubbs falling down the field. Jeano caught up as well. Tom, the only one there, never getting any contact because he was down the field, and he won't forgive me for catching him spinning out his Ascari for a second time in 2 laps. Sorry, mate. Thomas leads, heading through the Ascari chicane. Sorry, not the Ascari chicane, the first chicane. Rob Forbes. Little Blocks, side by side, a little bit of a bumpy margin. I can deal with a little bit, just keep it clean, guys, come on. Thomas for a 2-second time penalty, going to go side by side through the Curva Grande. And who's going to come out? And then Rob pulls back in there. He's going to... Oh, now that's what they call lag. Oh, goodness me. No idea if that's what it was like for Dan and Lico on the screen, but that's enough to give you a heart attack. Excuse me, the 2 Haas drivers up to Ascari, catching up to Unsafe Release in the Ferrari. Through Ascari nicely they come. Ooh, Westy's got a bit of tank slapper on there. It's going to give his teammate a chance. Into the Parabolica. Thomas coming through. He's going to take another victory. I think that's 6 on the night for him now. And he takes that one. Unsafe Release. Can he hold on across the line? He can across the line, but he loses out to Westy on penalties. Unsafe Release in 3rd. Jorty down to 4th. Dan Morris 5th. Maze in 6th. Little Blocks in 7th for Rob Forbes in 8th. Chubbs and Jono crossing the line pretty much nose to tail in 9th and 10th. Tom coming through For 11's not spinning at a scary this time. He'll be happy that I caught that one just to show that it is possible. And just waiting for Tom to cross the line. So your Italian Grand Prix question in the quiz is as follows. Monza has hosted every Italian Grand Prix since the inception of F1 in 1950. Except one. There was one race that was the Italian Grand Prix that was held at Imola. What year was that race? It's a bit of an easier one to manage, I think. What year did Imola host the one and only Italian Grand Prix that it ever hosted? So Monza's done them all. Imola hosted one. What was the year? Talk amongst yourselves. I need a drink. So has anyone came up with the answer then? What year did Imola host the Italian Grand Prix? It's only happened once and it's not been at Monza. What year was it is your quiz question as we as we head to Singapore. Oh goodness me. So, this is going to be fun. Just having a look through the track list. So you got Russia, Mexico and Brazil. So we have cut a few tracks just due to the issues. It's taken a bit longer than expected. So I might jump in and do the last race at Brazil. I don't mind Brazil. Lucy's not sure of that answer. Well, I'm going to give you the answer now, Lucy, so you've got 5 seconds to quickly type wait if you want to answer that question. But if not, and if nobody else knows the answer, what year did Imola host the Italian Grand Prix? Nearly nails. Neil, nice to have you along as well. 81, you were so close. It was 1980. You were 1 year out, buddy, but very, very good guess there, Nelson. Thank you for jumping in and joining us here tonight as well for a period of time. You were so close. 1 year out on that one. It was 1980. But thanks for getting involved with it though, because I've not had too many. I put a lot of effort into this. It's ridiculous. Don't forget, obviously, if you have a look on the screen on the chat just now, I'm going to repost the link if you do wish to donate anything towards Mental Health UK, who are of course the charity we are raising money for here this evening. As we get ready for night racing in Singapore, the host venue for the first ever F1 night race. Five red lights are on at the Marina Bay Circuit and we are underway for yet another race here tonight. As Jono out into the lead of the race and he takes over in Frost. Robson's second. He's been punted by Chubbs. That might have been payback for Monza, who knows. So Jorty's in third, Thomas up to fourth, Nickelblock's fifth, Tom sixth, Westy seventh, Unsafe Release in eighth, Rob Ford's ninth, Dan Morris 10th, Lewis 11th, Steve in 12th. Mays is retired from the session, so unsure what's happened to Mays. See Lewis and Dan Morris side by side into turn number 7. Well, if you just heard the question in 5 seconds left, you've done very, very well as Tom is round. He's bumping his way back on the track. And you can see Steve coming through there in the Toro Rosso. Let's go back towards the front end. Jono leads across the bridge, Anderson Bridge, with Captain Chubbs in second, Jorty in third, Thomas in fourth, Lickleblocks in fifth, and the Williams will jump on board with him just now because he's side by side with Thomas going into the next right-hander, late on the brakes. He's given the nurse enough space, a little bump of the wheels. That's just about fine as they're side by side into the next section, turns 18 and 19, 17 and 18. Nicely done there as Thomas holds on. Rob's got his way through an unsafe release. Lewis has just tapped the wall in the background. It is Jorty there in third. Jono's checked out by a second almost. It's a Red Bull 1-2 with Captain Chubbs in second, Jorty in third, Thomas in fourth, Lickleblocks in fifth, Westy in sixth, Rob Forbes in 7th, unsafe release in 8th, Dan Morris 9th, Lewis 10th, Steve in 11th, Tom in 12th. Maze has retired from the session. Nails, how's things going so far? It's been alright. The driving's suspect, shall I say. We've raised £54 so far for Mental Health UK. We set ourselves a target of 200. I know it's Christmas time, so it doesn't make it the easiest time in the world, must be honest. But it's been alright. Just wish the driver was a wee bit better. Thomas has managed to make his way through on Jorty for third position, so that drops the Haas down to fourth, Lickleblocks in fifth still, with Westy in sixth, Rob Forbes 7th, and unsafe release in 8th. Maze, it's not a problem. It's been, you know, it's been long, shall we say. It's been quite a long night, and you know, anything raised is phenomenal. It's Christmas time, you know, most of the community that we have are younger, so don't necessarily have money, so to even get to £54 I think is brilliant. And you know, as I said earlier, £10 can put the information, the right, you know, details that are needed to get the right advice and help shops etc into the hands of about 30 people. So by raising £54, we've put that information into the hands of around about 150 people as the Williams at Lickleblocks spins round in the background, out of the final corner, drops them down few places as Thomas goes side by side with Captain Chubbs as he comes through the first couple of corners, coming up towards turn number 4 and 5, and Thomas is through, is he? Yes, and he's got DRS to assist him as well, which is certainly going to be very advantageous. Can Captain Chubbs do anything into turn 7? Not with the braking being that far out. Jorty's completely missed his braking there. He's lucky there's a bit of runoff. Dan Morris has gone past on unsafe release. Westy's gone by on Rob Forbes as the Haas driver comes back through the field. Lickleblocks after he spin down in 9th, Lewis 10th, Steve in 11th, Tom in 12th. Rob's gone back past on Dan Morris as well, and you can see he's right onto the back of Westy also, coming down towards what I believe is turn 15 if I remember correctly. I don't have any of the track maps, there's too many to go through, so I've not bothered with track maps. Some of them I know quite well. You can see though Rob's very close to the back of Westy. We are getting close to the end of the evening, so obviously if you haven't done so already, it would be fantastic if you could donate to the cause Mental Health UK before we finish the stream tonight. That would be fantastic if you could do that. You are raising money, you are helping many people. As I've said before, I said earlier on, I suffer from mental health issues myself, currently on medication for depression, and when I first got diagnosed, I didn't know I was depressed. It actually took my sister first time saying to me, I think you've got depression. This is my younger sister. I was about 19, 20 at the time, and she was 15, and she noticed it. And just having the right people who know having the right people around you is the big thing you need when you're having these, you know, mental health issues, suffering from depression or bipolar or any disorders like an eating disorder or personality disorder or anything like that at all. But some people don't have that. Some people don't have big families. They don't have family help. They maybe don't have friends. So giving anything you can to help Mental Health UK put that information into the right hands to help people who have these issues, who are scared to talk about it, who don't know about the loads of help that's available, like through help groups and, you know, advice lines and all the rest of it. £10 puts that information in the hands of around 30 people. Just helping one person can make such a difference. As we see Thomas and the two Red Bulls going free wide almost, coming down towards the turn number 7, but anything you can do to help is greatly appreciated. And as someone, as I say, who knows this struggle personally, thank you from the bottom of my heart to anyone who donates tonight, who is aware, goodness me, that's a cluster, who's aware of the situations that go on and everything. And even if you help anybody you know, friends wise, family wise, you are part of the solution to helping. So thank you. I'm going to go back to the action now for a bit of a moment because it's got a bit frantic in a hurry. We were really 4 wide over the Anderson Bridge. Thomas has checked out in front with Chubbs and Jono, and second and third now that he's managed to get away from those two. Rob Forbes has just gone by on the Red Bull, and you can see here they're all closing back up to each other. Westie's through on Jono as well. Unsafe release on Dan. They're all cutting the corners and everything. They're just going absolutely mental here in the final laps. Unsafe release, he doesn't know where to go as he go under the grandstand. Incredible stuff. Jorty's gone through. Here comes Thomas though. He's going to take the victory in Singapore, but forget that. Let's go back to the action. Look at this, they're cutting the track. Come on. Through the final corner, they're blasting their way through. Jono's ran out of fuel. There's a Williams sideways across the line. Oh my goodness me. Oh god. There's Steve crossing the line. Tom's going to be the last one. So Thomas wins. Rob Ford's in second. Jumps in third. Westy fourth. Jono in fifth. Jorty sixth. Dan Morris seventh. Unsafe release in eighth. Lewis ninth. Little Blocks 10th. Stephen 11th. And Tom in 12th. Oh my god. What was that ending? That was just friggin' insanity. Cutting the corners, cutting the track, just unbelievable. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie. Neil, thank you very much for the donation of €5 you done there. Doesn't matter how small it is, buddy. Every little helps and really appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for dropping that donation in there as well. So, quiz question for Singapore. This is a tricky one. So, it is more recent. So, the American driver Alexander Rossi, who's now racing for Andretti Autosport and IndyCar, he made his debut in F1 at Singapore in 2015, and it was for the Manor team. Usually used to be Marussia Virgin as they go through their stages in their 5 years of existence. Can you tell me though who he replaced? Now, this is a tricky one. Might be more recent, but this is a tricky one. So, who was the driver that Alexander Rossi replaced for the 2015 Singapore Grand Prix when he made his debut? We are having one last race here. We're going to go to Brazil. It's going to be the final race of the evening. I'm going to watch it. I was going to race, but no. I'm terrible on a pad. So can you name the driver that Rossi replaced in 2015 for Manor? I'll have one more question after this race, and it's a bonus question. In fact, I'll give you the bonus question now as well. You can think of this one during the race. Try not to Google it. How many tracks have hosted an F1 race since it became a World Championship in 1950? So how many different tracks have hosted a race in Formula 1 since 1950? That's your bonus question. You've got this race to do it. Try not to go to Wikipedia and toll them up, because that's cheating. But the answer for the Singapore one is a Spanish driver by the name of Roberto Meri. He was the driver that Alexander Rossi replaced in 2015 for the Singapore Grand Prix. So this is going to be the final one tonight. We've had good 2 and a bit hours worth of action. It's been up and down, it's been frantic, it's been exciting, it's been messy, it's been fun, I think's the easiest way to put it. And as I say, we've raised some funds for a fantastic charity. Even if we had hit our goal of 200, I would still have been like to have raised more. You always do, but everything helps, and thank you to everybody who has donated already. I will leave the link in the chat before I finish up. It is also down in the description as well. As we go racing one last time tonight here at Interlagos. Now away we go with Rob in pole position with Thomas in second, unsafe release in third, down the field into the Senna for the first time. That's a Williams flying up the inside there as Lickle blocks on Tom, but Tom's got the run on him coming through the curve with the Sol, but now the Williams has got the inside line coming down the back straight towards the Decido del Lago turn 4, the Lake Descent corner into the turn 4, and Rob has got himself into the lead ahead of Thomas. He's dropped down to second again, unsafe release in third. We've got plenty going on behind. Jorty has made gained a few places. Sorry, D-Bear, who's joined in, is up a few. Lewis has gone through as well. That was Chubbs just going by on somebody as well. As I think Niels has got a question for me. I'll get to it in a second once you've typed it, buddy. I will happily try and answer it. Let's see how good my knowledge is. That's a racing point off on the grass, I think. That's Tom. As you can see, an Alfa Romeo there is Steve going up the inside on one of the Red Bulls, but unable to make the move stick there. That was Jono. He was trying to make a move on. D-Bear is still coming through. There is Tom. Drop down the field. Jorty's all the way to the back of the field now as they come up towards Juncao for the first time and up the hill. But there you go, it's Rob from Thomas, unsafe release. Westy and Lickle blocks going up the inside of Westy into turn number 1. Nice late braking move. That was a really nice move actually from the Williams driver. He is up into fourth position there. As you can see there, Lewis going around the outside of Westy, coming down towards Decido del Lago for the second time. You can see the McLaren and Dan in the background trying to make a move up the inside of Steve into turn number 4, and he's got that move done. Going up on board though with Captain Chubbs, because he's going through into turn 5 on Steve as he come up towards Ferradura for the second time. And side by side he goes with Steve up towards turn 8. Tricky corner here. 2 Ferraris side by side as they go through, and still side by side as they come through turn number 8 and up towards the Pico de Pato, the duckbill corner. And still they go, and Steve's going to hold on to that position. Down Megulo, down through the dive, up to Juncao, the junction. It's still Chubbs from Steve, still fighting it out there. As we come back towards the front of the field, Thomas has got half a second up front. Coming through, Robson second, Lickle blocks in third. It'll be Westy in fourth, cutting across the second part. Lewis fifth, Jono in sixth, Dan Morrison seventh, Steve in eighth. Still holding off Captain Chubbs. Tom's just gone by on Jonty, who's, well, done about a 1080 there by the looks of it. I was like flying all over. You see the two Ferraris there on the lap 3. Rob's catched up to the back of Thomas. Nails his question: which circuit was redesigned by Herman Tilke in time to debut its new look in 2002? Hockenheim. When they've got rid of the old forest and turned it into a more stadium section track, I do believe it was Hockenheim, becoming the Hockenheim Ring. So I'm sure I'm right, but tell me if I am, Nails. And see if my knowledge is still up to scratch. Up to the line we go, and look at this, going side by side as Westy and Lickleblocks. Straight in there goes Westy, round the outside. Lickleblocks still going to hold on through the curve of the sill. Here comes Lewis though, he's going to get the run through the curve of the sill. They're going to go free wide nearly, no not quite, down the back straight they go towards Decido del Lago. Lickleblocks pulls to defend, and he's going to have to try everything he can. Dan was trying to get by there as well. Up towards Ferradura, they're still going. Lickleblocks is sliding all over the place, side by side into Ferradura, and Westy has to back out of that one. Red Bull's coming up behind him is Jono, then Dan Morris into turn 8. Lickleblocks has run wide into the downhill turn 9, which is Pinarina, the little pine tree corner, up towards Bico de Pato, the duckbill, and you can see there goes Lewis up the inside. He's going to gain 2 places there. He's going to go around the outside through Magulo. That's a hard thing to do, and he's made that move stick as Westy tries to come through as well into Juncal. It's all going off, and yeah, I don't waste any time. When I think I know the answer, I get straight to it. I was glad to know my knowledge was bang on track, but good question, because some people would forget about that because Hockenheim's been that way for so many years now. Lickleblocks going right the way to the wall there to make that move on Lewis, gets the move done, and he's up the inside as Chubbs has finally got by Steve, or has he? Yes, he has. A little bit of hand waving there. I'm going for first, as Murray Walker said in an old touring car clip. Dan's got through on Westy now, who's going backwards very quickly. You can see here that Thomas and Rob are keeping together. Thomas just picked up a penalty, so Rob might be about to win the final race of the night as the unsafe release has gone by on Mays into the Decido del Lago. Back towards the midfield scrap. Lickleblocks, Lewis, Dan, Westy, Jono. Chubbs is not close enough, so this is third down to 7, 5 of them in a row. Here they go though for the leaders, up towards Juncal for the last time. Thomas is going to cross the line and win another race on track. He's going to lose out on penalties to Rob, unless Rob has penalties. Look at this, Dan just getting a bit of a bump there on Lewis coming into Juncal. Just couldn't quite keep it together. But up towards the line, Thomas goes across to win the race here in Brazil at Interlagos. Fastest lap at the end, but Rob crosses the line in second and takes it on penalties. Lickleblocks in third, but Lewis then takes it in third. Westy fourth because of penalties. Lickleblocks drops to fifth. Dan in sixth. Jono in seventh. Captain Chubbs eighth. Steve ninth. Unsafe release from Mays. Mays gets 10th on the line by 13 one-thousandths of a second from unsafe release. D-Bear 12th. Tom 13th. Jorty 14th. But he had left the session. Whew. So that was nearly 2.5 hours running solo. Oh my goodness me. But that was the final race, and Rob Forbes takes the victory in the final race. But it wasn't about who won and who lost here tonight, and as much as some of the driving could have been a bit better, it was about raising money for charity and raising money for Mental Health UK. If you have joined us during the night, thank you very much for doing so. It's the first time I've done a charity stream. It's very different from commentating on a league race. I hope I made it enjoyable for anyone watching. I hope that the questions, doing the quiz was something a little bit different as well. Just thank you everybody who's joined in. If you haven't done a donation yet, it'd be absolutely fantastic if you could do so. We've raised just shy of £60 at the moment. I'd love to see that get up closer to 100. That would be phenomenal if that could be possible. So the link is going in the description down below. You can find it there. Remember, this isn't This might not be for, you know, you might not be the one suffering from mental health yourself. Your friend might be, your mum might be, your dad might be, a family member might be. It might be yourself. You might not even know it. If you think you are, speak to someone. Don't sit in silence. Help is there. It's not as big a stigma now to admit that you're depressed, to admit that you have a mental health issue as it once used to be. It's hard. I understand that. But don't be scared. People are there to help. mentalhealth-uk.org is their website. Give them a check, have a look through the information that's there, see if it can be of any help to you personally, to a family member, a friend, anyone you know. Any donation helps them. Keep this good information coming, put it in the right hands as well. But that is it for the stream tonight. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined in and watched. I do hope you've enjoyed my stream for myself. My name is Andy Campbell. I will be back tomorrow night with Kieran McGinley for TTL F1. It will be at Brazil and it's bound to be a phenomenal race as well. So do come and join us at 8 o'clock tomorrow. But for myself, thank you very much to everyone for joining us. Until next time, see you soon. Ta-da.